what do you guys know about this mystical legendary player? What was Capablanca known for? Here he demonstrates more well-rounded skill set. We don't get to know stinking endgame. He takes him down with this whole bishop takes h7 sacrifice. Let's check it out. d4, d5, c4, e6. Same opening as before. In this position, by the way, fun little trick here that black has used. So it seems like they're just giving up a free pawn. So it seems like we can just go here takes, pawn takes, and then we go like this. And if they take, we get their queen. Yay, we just want a free pawn. No, not yay. Because if they go this way and then we go here, then here check. Oops, we're in mate. Well, not quite mate, but the only legal move we have is to offer up our queen, after which they can just take it with checks. We're down 2 points there. That's no good. All right. And so he goes, okay, let's go e3, which ironically is innocent and benign as this move looks, actually threatens to win the pawn, since in that line we would have the escape square e2. In reply, his opponent protects his d5 pawn, and the game continues. Knight to f3, bishop to e7, here takes, pawn takes, and now knight takes back this away. This move is a little bit of an error. It would be better just to fortify the center by going pawn takes. They're threatening to take our bishop, so Capablanca goes, all right, let's take this guy, and then they take back with the knight. They should have taken back with the queen, but after this, now they've made a couple of errors, and so Capablanca is looking to exploit those errors and drum up an attack here quickly. So he goes with a move bishop to d3. Now after pawn to c5, he's going to get castled. They castle. What move could help to prepare the sacrifice? Takes on c5. So he does this move. So after right here, now this takes back. And again, the point here is that this knight can't travel to f6, so it won't be able to guard here and here. He goes like this, and then after right here, of course, he goes knight to g5. And then which of these would be the most resilient? Well, we said before, we definitely don't want to just go to h8, and generally the case is you want to go to g6, and that's the case here too. So he goes over to g6, and what's our standard follow-up? Well, this should be intuitive by now. We just want to go queen to g4. All right, now let's take it up a notch. What's black's best move? Exactly, f5. Pawn to f5 is attacking the piece that white needs to use to land this discovered check. So something like this would be horrible because we would just lose the queen, and then after right here, there it takes back. We're down 4 points, and there's no attack to speak of. So Capablanca goes, all right, well, time to just go here. Queen to g3. This is the big trick, is to go f4, specifically with the plan of bringing the knight into f5, which turns out to be an awesome defender of this whole situation. So first let's look at the other examples. Well, in the game he goes here, but let's also see, why does this move not work? Well, if he goes here, ignoring, this is why I highlighted these squares. If you just ignore the attack, just that whole sector of the board, you just block that out. What would be like a normal good move here for white? Ignore this whole sector. Just forget that's even there. Just look at the rest of the board. What would be a normal good move here? Rook d1, exactly, So you go like this. Now the rook's into the game and you're attacking the queen. They go this way. You go b4, sidelining that knight, and then you go pawn to e4, actually. Now you're crushing. So we dominate right here. We can use this rook in a second, maybe aided by this one. We're also going to be threatening like pawn e5. So that's game over. Well, what if he goes d3? Okay, so if he does this, now this trick works extremely well. We're just winning the queen. What about if they shuffle the queen over this way to a5? So now we don't have a discovered attack on the queen, but we still have this target point here on g7. So after king to f7, we go, kapow, you want my knight? You can take my knight because I'm going to get your rook. And then we're up in points and their king is super weak. Now, we talked about this option here. We talked about king f6. We talked about f4. We talked about knight d3 and here. But this is the magical one that could have saved him. Had he done this move, his opponent may have been able to hold a draw. So the key point is that the knight ends up being an awesome defender. After right here, we go like this, and then knight h6, queen g3, and white would have to just settle for a draw. There's no way to press forward here. His opponent did not discover this, and instead was eager to get his king off of this file, understandably so, however it is indeed a mistake. So after this move now, we go queen to h4 check, this comes over this way, and we're gonna go here. We don't have an h-pawn guarding this, we also don't have a bishop guarding this. They can just take this. Why would it be bad? Again, kudos to the person who found the f4 knight f5. This move, this move, this move. One of these work, the other two do not. Which is which? You're losing some credibility. You came in clutch with the f4, knight f5 thing. Now not so much. What are you talking about? f4 and then here mate? Yeah, it'd be mate, but they can do this move. And they run away. It's this move. Why strategically does this make a lot of sense? Without giving lines, just strategically speaking, why is that a good move here? pushed away from protection. Bingo. So we're cutting off his escape. He can't run back to his support over here, and so that's going to be devastating. So the queen is now locking out all of these squares, and we don't need a whole lot. The queen's a very powerful piece. You get the queen and maybe one other piece, that's going to be enough for mate. Well, which piece do we choose? How about the knight? We go this way, threatening mate basically in a couple different ways. So after right here, we needn't move the queen. We can simply go here, and then after this move, kapow, checkmate. So in lieu of this, his opponent goes, okay, that seems really bad. I don't want to take the knight. So he didn't take the knight. He went here. After this move here, we have king f6. We still don't need to defend this guy. What do we do to continue? f4, queen h4. Rook d1 seems intuitive. Rook d1 might also be good. So here's the thing when you're attacking. There's 4 different channels of an attack, okay? So there's files, right? Vertical. There's ranks, horizontal. There's diagonals. And then the 4th channel is the knights, which act independent of the more linear pathways. So currently, if we use those criteria to assess how well the attack is going, the knight thing is great, but vertical is not going so good. We don't really have these rooks in the game all that well. What we need to do is do some pawn breakthroughs to get some open files. Kapow! Pawn e4. Yep, so he goes like this, and now the plan is open up some files. So after this move, now should they go, all right, perfect, I have a spare move, get out of here, queen. Ha! You got nowhere to go. You're trapped. Well, then we do this move, and then we say you can have the pawn, you can have the knight, you can have whatever you like, because I'm getting your king next. So here and now kapow, and this is going to be a checkmate here, because after this, now we go here, and what happened? How did this end up being checkmate? Because we controlled these files. The rook got involved. That was the whole point of pushing the pawns forward. So again, 4 different channels of attack. You have files, ranks, and diagonals, and then also the knights. All right, so he goes, all right, I'm not going to do rook h8. Totally not going to do that. How about here? So knight to g6, and then dear Capablanca actually makes an error right here. He goes with the wrong move. So this one's so tough that even Capablanca, a former world champion, missed it. So e5 is the move. For the sake of momentum, we're just going to go ahead and go with the move that was played in the game here. E takes f5. He should have actually done pawn to f4. But then the author goes, no, that was actually not the move either. This doesn't really work. If here, then okay, great. This does work after just rook a to d1, and then maybe queen to b6, and then we just cover this guy and we have the attack that continues to press here. However, instead of just going and taking like this, he can instead go queen to d4, launching a bit of a counterattack as well as also centralizing his queen to offer some further protection of the king and control important, relevant central squares. So after this move, then we are not doing great. As illustrated by here, knight takes e4. Whoa, who's attacking who? They're going in like this, and now we could take here. So it seems all right at first, and we get to go like this, okay, and now they go like this. And so now black is going to be threatening rook to h8, and our attack is kind of dwindling a bit. So, in lieu of that, he says the move pawn to e5 would have actually been an improvement. He doesn't find that. He instead goes like this. Okay, so after right here, now they take back like this. And what's a good move now? Just the natural, intuitive move at this point. Chess is a hard game. Sometimes you don't have to work at it that hard, and you can just kind of do the move that intuitively makes sense. This is like a low effort move. It's the same one I referred to earlier. Rook d1, we go like this. Now, black goes with this move. Black's putting up a fight. They're like, okay, I'm not going down that easy. All right, I'm still up 2 points. This queen, I don't know, kind of shaky. I might be able to trap it. I'm not going down just yet. So he goes knight to d3. This is a good move. And so now, after this one, how do we continue to press on? The struggle remains. Objectively, the position is now level, but white messes up a bit later, and we get the game in our favor. This comes over, knight e6, knight ce4. The answer is none of those. The correct move has not been said just yet. Some of these are more interesting than others. I do kind of like the idea of taking the knight and going rook d1, queen to h3. So when you go here, now you're going to be not getting the queen trapped like this. Also, we're tagging the knight. Hip hip hooray. So the knight's pinned, and so that's going to be cool. All right, now our queen is being attacked. So they go like this. They're attacking our queen. Thing is, this is actually a mistake. What he should have done was this move. This actually would have kept the draw alive, but in the game, he goes like this. Okay, so now we have a chance to win this. After right here, queen to g3. So we have to be careful that we don't lose our queen in this case here. But after queen to g3, do we have a threat? Yeah, we have a threat. Remember that rook d1 move? We're attacking the queen. So queen g3, and then after this, they go queen to c7. And now we go rook in like this. All of our pieces are in the game. This is going well. And then our opponent goes for it. They go knight here into e2. Wait. What gives? I mentioned that this could be a problem because we could lose the queen. Black is using that tactic in a different way. They're actually just trying to trade off all four of these guys. They're going, okay, if I can just neutralize all these, that'd be a win for me because I'm already up points. So they go, all right, I'm going to give up the knight. Then after you take this one, we're going to see a trade of queens. And then I just win your knight. Hip, hip, hooray. Taking this Capablanca guy down. And then after queen takes on g3, what's his move? Deadly. Yes. Kapow. Knight to h7. GG. This is called an intermezzo move. So generally when something gets captured, you just capture it right back. So we're breaking that string of events by actually in the middle delivering check, thus safeguarding the knight. King comes back like this. We take, and now the opponent goes here. Knight g5. After this move, pawn f4. We had no problems in this position. Plus it's the end game, and of course Capablanca is going to crush it. So his opponent goes, okay, I quit, and he just gave up. He's down a pawn. Positionally speaking, he's just totally dead lost. The attack was a huge success. Cool. So what did we learn about? Tons of stuff, and it was all centered around the beautiful, fine and dandy, totally fun concept of bishop takes h7. So that's going to do it for the lesson portion of this. Hip hip hooray!